I've been slowly unraveling a mystery for the last 2 years, and today, I finally solved it. I'm gonna bring you on this journey with me because the more I looked into this case, the more fascinated I became. It's a story of friendship, fame, and of course, SoundCloud rap. So this is BrokenHeartsClub. They were started all the way back in 2017 and have been pretty active on SoundCloud ever since. And when the year 2021 rolled around, it looked like the band was headed in a good direction. However, in the upcoming months, their output slowly slowed to a crawl, and they were gone. I didn't know where they were. I was like looking all over where they go. I'm going insane. I've been going insane for like 3 weeks. It looked like I was witnessing the death of a band in action, and I couldn't let that happen. So naturally, I DM'd them and said, "Can I please interview you? Oh my God, please! Ooh, I'm your biggest fan." And they said yes. And I was like, oh, okay. And it brought me to literally the last place on earth I'd ever want to purposely be. All the way across the country to the great state of Texas. I'm in Texas.
I went to Texas for a video.
So I flew to Texas. That's right. I flew across the country in hopes of potentially, possibly interviewing these boys, the two most prolific SoundCloud rappers of our generation. I exchanged Instagram DMs with their lead producer, and we formed a very valuable friendship. And on June 22nd, 2022, I finally sat down with them, oh my God, to uncover the mystery of what happened to BrokenHeartsClub. So the year is 2017. The world of politics in America has been thoroughly rocked, and the online digital sphere is rapidly changing. And in the midst of all of this, a group named Boneless Pizza uploads their first track to SoundCloud. It was bad. Yeah. No, it's not good. Meet Landon and Michael, the creators of what would later become BrokenHeartsClub. BrokenHeartsClub went on over the next 5 years to produce 5 albums, 2 EPs, and over 80 tracks. In studying their older discography, how do I say that? It's loud, it's unoriginal, and extremely offensive. This style of edgy, unabashedly offensive music was prevalent throughout their early discography.
Tap your mom.
Now, why am I saying all of this? Where's the story here? I found these guys in 2020, and granted, I hadn't heard any of their old stuff, which is probably good because I probably would have stopped listening. At this point, most of their edgy tropes were gone and replaced by the band's namesake, love. And it was clear from this point on that a new era for BrokenHeartsClub had just begun. Except, that was it. It all stopped. After 2020, only 2 more singles were uploaded to their Spotify, and that was really it. The band kind of went radio silent, besides for a few passing mentions of new music coming and stay tuned. But it was clear something was wrong, and me and their other 150 monthly listeners on Spotify demanded answers. However, at this point, whatever was going on, I wasn't going to get the answers over Instagram DMs. It was clear I had to go there myself. Okay, so today is the day of the interview. I need to leave here in about an hour. So far, one of the members has agreed to the interview. I'm still waiting on the other one. It sounds like a lot of shit is going on. Okay, let's do it. This is a fit. This is a fit. I think I blend in. Let's do it. Yeah, dude, I'm like nervous. This is weird. It's like just occurring to me what I'm doing right now. This is weird. Michael BrokenHeartsClub? Is that you? What's up, man?
Me and Cole,
Oh, this is where the magic happens?
Oh yeah.
So we got Kanye, we got Tyler.
We got the Arby's roast beef menu. We got that. This is a big inspiration.
It's a big inspiration for you.
That's a huge inspiration, that fucking, my lord.
When did you start the band?
I think it was after we released those like 4 little songs. It was I Fuck On Your Bitch. It was The Tims Are Gay.
Do you want to play some of Tims Are Gay for us?
Oh my God.
I pulled up with a fucking pair of Tims, bitches on me. Just kidding, they're off me.
So like, what does that mean to you?
Well, I think the bitches were on him at one point. It may pertain to him having the Tims, but it also may not. That's probably why the bitches weren't on him anymore, because he took off his Tims.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
So, like,
we have to create this social construct that the Timberlands are homophobic.
how do you feel about your early stuff still being online for
I want to delete it.
possibly lots of people to go watch?
Yeah, I want to delete it. You know, I guess you had to start somewhere, because like, I mean, I'm happy that happened, but at the same time, it's like, man, Like, shit gives me like a headache because like what I'm doing now, the song I'm working on now, like Go, I'm like, man, like this wouldn't have happened if I wasn't screaming the N-word like 40 times. You know what I mean? There's no substance. There's really no substance. It's just us saying like dick fuck.
We're in Texas.
Okay.
As is a common occurrence I've noticed down here. Going up your staircase, you have a wall of crosses. And I was wondering, like, how does your family's Christianity like factor into your music?
It don't. I don't know. I think it was a hobby my mom had for a while. Like, cause she's like a really artsy person. She's not really religious at all though. It's more like my dad.
You don't live with your dad?
Nah, he left. He dipped, boy. It didn't bother me that much now, but like the way he left was just like so like it felt like a fucking girlfriend. One day he was supposed to pick me up from school. I'm like, hey dad, it's like 7th grade. I'm like, hey dad, can you come pick me up from school? And he's like, I'm in Dallas. I'm like, he like packed all this shit from his apartment and like left while I was at school. He came and visited me a few times, but like over time, he just had this whole thing where he would just like wish death on my mom. Like he's like, your mom's going to hell, but I also won't pay my child support. Like, and one day I was just like, enough. And so I just kind of like exploded on him. And like ever since I was just like, I don't know, we haven't been on talking terms. You can ask Landon about it. He knows like just as much about it as me because like he's heard it like firsthand from my dad.
Well, it doesn't sound like Landon's home life is that much better. Like,
oh yeah.
I'd like you to break down the lyric. Like, Landon's dad is going to beat us. I believe you said that, what, 12 times in a row or something?
Yeah, that was the hook.
Yeah, so what did that mean to you?
Okay, so I think at this point in time, his dad was like really mad that he like locked the door, which is stupid. Okay, we're like in 7th grade. He like locked the door like because we're making music. We just hear a drill. And he's just like taking off the door hinges to his door. And we're like, what the fuck are you doing? And Landon gets up and he's like, what are you fucking doing? Like, stop, put my door back. And his dad is just like, what'd I tell you about leaving this door locked and shit? And I think that was the inspiration. Because sometimes he'd just get really mad. Like he wouldn't beat Landon, but like I remember one time we tried to take the Xbox from his room downstairs so we can play like Black Ops or something. There was a little scuffle. He was like, Michael, get out. You're not allowed. And he's like, I don't have my shoes on. And he's like kicking me out and he's like trying to push me out the door, and then Landon finally comes in, pushes his dad, like punches him, like, and then like we all went outside and like, you know, Landon had a good cry, and then like my mom picked us up and we came here. We like had some ice cream on him.
So you made that song not in the house with the door open. You made that here?
No, we made that in the house. He's a ride though because his car's dead, and I was like, man, what the fuck did you do?
You got a car?
No, not right now. I'm about to get a car, but I be biking everywhere.
Sorry, couldn't pick up the phone. Give me another call.
I hate his voicemail. It's like he's off of Xanax or something. He's off the fucking perk every time he doesn't answer his phone.
I'm so curious to see if Landon actually shows up.
I hope he does. I mean, it's been an hour. It's been an hour.
What was it like having, I believe it's Back to You has like 150,000 streams on SoundCloud, and like Thunder has 70,000. Like, what happened?
This dude named Michael Mars, all right? What a character. He's like telling us how he got like convicted of like this and that, went to prison this.
Wait, what did he get convicted of?
I think arson.
What do you say to that? What? Cool. Sorry?
He had like this whole like setup in this like storage unit where he's like selling like a bunch of music stuff. I got this microphone adapter over here. Boom. I think Back to You is the only song I actually made on that microphone. Back to You was like special. I don't know. It's Back to You, like we made it and it didn't feel like a whole song. Like we made it in like 20 minutes. As soon as we made it, I'm like, man, it's such a good song. Like it's like our most like ambitious thing yet. Like nothing sounds like this. Like let's release it. Landon's like, I don't know. And then we release it. And then like in the span of a month, it hit like 30,000, and we're like, shit, bro. I'm like, we're not making any money off of it, but I'm like glad about the exposure is like nice.
I can shoot kids at a 7.5 bill, make a meal off of weed and F. Counting the racks, so I got a stash.
Okay, so my whole freshman year was a trip. It was like, that's not even an exaggeration. I was doing so much acid during my freshman year, it wasn't even funny. Like I would do it like Monday, do it on Saturday, same week, and I would just like keep doing that. And I remember just having some of the most crazy experiences in my life doing that. Like the first time I did it, I was like, this is insane. Called Landon. Landon, you have to try this. He's never done it. He was like, okay. And then he did it. Same night, like the same hour. And I remember walking home with this fool, and he was on a bike, and he looked stupid. Like, just to paint a picture in your head, I was like drooling. I was like slurring my words. I was in front of a gas station. I was like laughing uncontrollably, and Landon's just like, while he's still sober, he's looking at me like, all right, took it. And we go home, and I remember starting to walk to my ex's house.
Walk into your ex's house at 3:05.
Don't walk to your ex's house on acid at 3:05.
That's a fucking vibe.
I remember walking to my ex's house, and Landon was like, you can't do that. And I'm like, please, Landon. He's like, no. He sees a cat poster. I remember this like clear as the day. He sees a cat poster, and he just like, he starts bawling his eyes out. He's like, no, like the cat's gone, the cat. And I'm like, Landon, bro, it's okay. Like, he's not gone, he's just missing. And he's like, man, you were right. He like wipes his tears. He's like, I was tripping. And then we just like go to his house. The rest is a blur. We took it at like 10 at night. At this point where he's on the ground, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning.
What is your life? What?
We didn't stop doing it until like sophomore year, like midway through sophomore year, because I had like this horrible acid trip. Like, it was bad. I actually felt like I was gonna die. Because what happened is I took two tabs. That was like my tolerance. Like, a bunch of the boys were at IHOP and like, let's go, right? You know, he's like, are you hungry? I'm like, yeah, but I don't want any like bread because I don't want it to like kill my eye. And he just gives me like a cereal bar. I ate it, right? And my friend on the other side, he's like, yo, what'd you do with that edible?
Oh.
I'm like at the side of IHOP on one of the booths. I'm just like, and my dad's like in the parking lot.
So your dad knew you were high on acid?
Oh, he used to like buy me drugs.
What?
Like, he used to like buy me shrooms.
This is after he left?
This is like when he would come down to visit. Sometimes I gotta think about that. I'm like, man, he really did that. Just the feeling that I felt there. I had like complete ego death. I was just like, man, I'm gonna die. After that bad trip, I went on like a weight journey. I sobered up. And that was like around the same time Landon and I like stopped talking.
So what's going on with the Landon situation then?
Okay, so for the longest time I didn't know why he stopped making music with me after a while. Until like January, I found out that like he actually like had this girl for a while, which I already knew, but he got her pregnant, and I was like, well, fuck. I was like, that's different. You know, he's got a dude on the way, got a little boy on the way. And I didn't realize that because by the time he told me, it was like 6 months along, probably 5 months, something like that. And I was like, I wanted him to tell me like sooner if I had known about it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like, man, I'm not in that situation. I don't. Last time we hung out, which was like a week or so ago, he had a sleepover at my friend's house, and he was asleep on the ground. It was like 8 in the morning, and like his baby mom was just calling him and me, like, wake Landon up. But also don't like go out of my way to like exclude him from things. Like, I really want him to be like a part of like doing this, because like he's literally like the reason I even started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I have to kind of like, just like, it's a given that I want him to still work with me, like in one way or another. Like, even if he's just in the room, like, that's cool. That's like what we always used to do. And then the rest is history.